When we picture China, we think of a powerhouse with towering cities and cutting-edge tech, all thriving in a bustling economy. Yet, behind this facade of progress lies a brewing storm. China grapples with pressing economic and population challenges so severe that it threatens the very core of this ancient civilization. So, what's the deal with China's economy? To truly grasp the seriousness of the situation, we must rewind to China's origins.
China is currently experiencing a banking system collapse and that investors should pay close attention.
China's yuan is at a 16-year low, and the country appears to be experiencing deflation.
China's history dates back thousands of years, with the earliest civilizations emerging along the Yellow River around 2000 BCE. Over centuries, dynasties rose and fell, shaping the nation's culture and society. Fast forward to 1949, when the People's Republic of China was established, marking a significant shift under the leadership of the Communist Party headed by Mao Zedong. Since then, China has undergone remarkable economic and social transformations. In the early years post-1949, China, under Mao Zedong, pursued socialist economic policies, emphasizing collectivization and central planning. The Great Leap Forward from 1958 to 1962 aimed to rapidly industrialize and modernize the country, but resulted in a devastating famine and economic setbacks. And then, the Cultural Revolution from 1966 to 1976 further disrupted the economy, but then came the miracle. Deng Xiaoping's rise in the late 1970s marked a turning point. His economic reforms starting in 1978 shifted towards a socialist market economy, opening China to foreign investment and trade. Throughout the 1980s, economic liberalization gained momentum. Special economic zones were established, fostering export-oriented growth. Deng's famous phrase, "to get rich is glorious," symbolized a shift towards a more capitalist mindset. By the end of the decade, China's GDP had quadrupled, laying the foundation for future growth. The 1990s witnessed even more accelerated economic reforms. Deng's southern tour in 1992 reaffirmed the commitment to a socialist market economy. China joined the World Trade Organization in 2001, further integrating into the global economy. Economic growth surged, with GDP expanding at an average rate of around 10% annually. Urbanization and industrialization skyrocketed, lifting millions out of poverty. However, this growth came with challenges including environmental degradation and rising income inequality. Entering the 21st century, China continued its rapid economic ascent. The 2008 global financial crisis temporarily slowed growth, but China's massive stimulus package spurred recovery. By 2010, it surpassed Japan as the world's second-largest economy. The government implemented measures to rebalance the economy, emphasizing domestic consumption and reducing reliance on exports. Infrastructure projects like the Belt and Road Initiative aimed to enhance global economic influence. Amidst this growth, concerns about a housing bubble and debt levels emerged. The government responded with measures to cool the property market and address financial risks. In 2015, President Xi Jinping launched the Made in China 2025 initiative, aiming to boost innovation and technology sectors. However, economic challenges persisted. The trade tensions with the United States, escalating in 2018, led to tariffs and trade restrictions. The COVID-19 pandemic in 2019 further strained the economy. The government implemented measures to stabilize employment and support businesses, contributing to a quicker recovery than other major economies. Despite an initial pandemic shock, China's economy roared back in 2020, the only major nation to record positive growth. This rebound, fueled by exports and government stimulus, saw GDP rise 2.3%. However, beneath the headline figure, cracks began to show. Soaring real estate prices triggered concerns about a bubble, prompting measures to cool the housing market and curb debt. 2021 unveiled a tale of two halves. The first 6 months saw strong growth, exceeding 8%, but momentum sputtered in the latter half. Supply chain disruptions, escalating energy prices, and regulatory crackdowns on tech giants dampened enthusiasm. Still, the year ended with a respectable 8.1% expansion. Enter 2022, a year defined by slowing growth and heightened uncertainty. The zero-COVID policy, while effective in controlling the pandemic, disrupted economic activity. Lockdowns and travel restrictions stifled consumption and tourism. Real estate woes deepened, with major developers collapsing amidst a debt crisis. The year, originally projected to see 5.5% growth, ended with a disappointing 4.8%, the worst performance in decades. 2023 brought cautious optimism, with hopes for a post-pandemic recovery. Early signs seemed promising, with GDP exceeding expectations in the first quarter. However, as the year unfolded, challenges resurfaced. The property market remained in freefall, dragging down investments. Exports, China's growth engine, sputtered under global economic headwinds. Domestic consumption, while improving, struggled to reach pre-pandemic levels. By the end of the year, growth fell short of targets, landing around a measly 5.4%. The cracks in China's economic facade are widening, and 2024 could be the year the whole picture shatters. At the heart of the storm lies a mountain of debt, a towering $47 trillion Everest casting a long shadow over everything. This isn't just some abstract number on a spreadsheet, it's biting into the lives of ordinary Chinese citizens. Imagine you're a young graduate drowning in student loans, except your loans are the size of small cities. That's the burden many Chinese families shoulder, with household debt soaring 130% in the past decade. Buying a house in China is a pipe dream. It's already a nightmare for many, with property prices collapsing faster than ever before. Then there's the banking system, playing peekaboo with its bad loans. Officially, non-performing loans sit at around 1.5 trillion yuan, but whispers suggest the real number is closer to a heart-stopping 21 trillion. That doesn't sound like a promising future. So how is this playing out for everyday folks? Well, imagine having your local shops suddenly vanish because their loan shark called in the debt. That's happening across China as businesses buckle under the weight of bad borrowing. Jobs are disappearing, and whispers of social unrest are getting louder. Remember the roaring Chinese dragon everyone was chasing? In 2024, it might just be a sickly cough rattling through a smog-filled megacity. The debt crisis isn't just a number. It's a human story of crushed dreams, broken promises, and a ticking time bomb that could plunge the world's second-largest economy into freefall. While China's debt drama might steal the headlines, three other ingredients are brewing a potent economic cocktail for 2024: a rapidly aging population, sky-high youth unemployment, and a deflationary chill seeping into the markets. Imagine a retirement party where half the guests are still working because there's not enough money to go around. That's the reality China faces, with its population aging faster than most countries in the world. By 2030, 1 in 4 Chinese will be over 65, putting immense strain on the pension system. Think empty coffers and anxious retirees, not exactly a recipe for economic stability. Meanwhile, on the other end of the age spectrum, China's youth are facing a grim job market. The official unemployment rate for 16 to 24-year-olds hovers around 16%, but many believe it's actually closer to 25%. That's a whole generation facing the prospect of being highly educated and utterly unemployable. No wonder the term lying flat, choosing to disengage from society's rat race, is trending among young Chinese. Adding fuel to the fire is deflation, the monster lurking under the bed of economic nightmares. Prices are actually falling, which sounds good until you realize it's because people aren't spending. Consumers are tightening their belts, businesses are struggling, and investments are drying up. It's a vicious cycle that can suffocate an economy faster than you can say stagnation. So, what happens when you mix these ingredients together? Well, buckle up, because it's not a pretty picture. The aging population puts pressure on social safety nets, while jobless youth breeds social unrest. Deflation throws a wrench in the economic engine, slowing growth and hindering investment. It's a domino effect waiting to happen, with the potential to topple China's carefully constructed economic house of cards. 2024 could be China's tipping point. Crushing debt, a graying population, and jobless youth threaten to topple the economic powerhouse. Can bold reforms reignite growth, or will dominoes tumble, impacting global trade, markets, and even our wallets? China's story is far from over, and its next chapter will have far-reaching consequences for the world watching with bated breath.